Cosmic horror is all about challenging humanity's sense of primacy, meaning our sense of importance, our sense that we are the smartest and most powerful critters around, our sense that man is top dog. The more science reveals about the cosmos, the galaxy, the universe, the more we have realized the incredible scale of the universe, how small we are, and the more irrelevant we feel when confronted with the incomprehensible scale of the universe, its size and its age. Trillions of galaxies, billions of years, people often feel anxiety. They feel nervous, unsettled, and existential fear. One of the first writers to explore these feelings of cosmic insecurity in fiction was H.P. Lovecraft, whose works formed the foundation of a new genre of horror fiction which came to be called cosmic horror. Cosmic horror is all about delving into that existential anxiety we feel when confronted by our own irrelevance in the universe, understanding this anxiety's causes, coming to grips with it. So let's go over a few of the most common themes that tend to appear in cosmic horror. And pay attention here, because when I'm finished listing them, I'm going to explain how Dead Space masterfully depicts every single one of them. First, the theme of challenged primacy, which I've already talked a bit about. The idea that humans are not the most important or most intelligent creatures in God's kingdom, and are perhaps totally irrelevant. In Lovecraft's stories, humanity was often depicted as a lesser species in the cosmic hierarchy. In his stories, space, time, and the Earth itself were full of creatures older, smarter, and more powerful than us. Second, the theme of forbidden knowledge. The idea that there is some knowledge that must be suppressed for the health and safety of the human species. Lovecraft's stories were full of characters making discoveries that drove them mad, that sent them down existential spirals of lunacy, discoveries that were better left undiscovered. Third, the theme of deception, that things are not as they seem, that under the surface our world is dangerous and frightening, that you cannot know what is really true. Is that just a regular guy, or does he have 100 tentacles stuffed down his pants? Fourth, the theme of madness, our inability to control our own minds, the thin barrier between what is real and what is not. In Lovecraft's stories, the brain is a fragile vessel in a very stormy sea, ever assaulted by frigid waves, ever in danger of capsizing. Fifth and finally, the theme of horrific self-discovery, looking at yourself truly for the first time and discovering that you yourself are horrific, that you are broken, you are mad, something about you is fundamentally wrong. Now, if you know anything about Lovecraft, you probably know that he was a little bit more than a little bit of a racist. And so in his stories, it's often characters discovering that they are racially impure in some way. Contemporary cosmic horror authors tend to have their characters be confronted by their own flaws, their own violence, their own madness instead. To recap, those 5 themes were challenged primacy, forbidden knowledge, deception, madness, and horrific self-discovery. Now I'm going to follow the plot of Dead Space from start to finish, and I will show you where each of these themes appears in the game. Dead Space is set in the year 2508. At the start of the game, for the first 5 minutes or so, humanity does have primacy within this universe. Humanity is shown to be powerful. We have conquered the stars. Humans have achieved faster than light speed interstellar travel. The game takes place in the Cygnus star system, millions of light years away from Earth. Most of the game is set on board the USG Ishimura, a massive mining ship. The Ishimura shatters entire planets to harvest the vast resources contained within. That's what I mean when I say humanity appears powerful at the start of the game. Humanity has the power to destroy entire planets. And so far, humanity's diaspora across the galaxy has been unchallenged. Now I'm going to play a clip from the first scene in the game, so you can see for yourself how powerful humanity is being depicted.
I think it's me. I wish I could talk to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about everything. I just wish I could talk to someone. It's all falling apart here. I can't believe what's happening. Strange. Such a little thing.
That's her? Nicole?
Yeah. First deferred from her in weeks.
We're 5 minutes out. You still got that thing on repeat? Guess you really miss her.
Ishimura is not a job you turn down, but 6 months apart with only vid calls? It's rough. Easy to say the wrong thing.
I don't blame you. I'd listen to my girlfriend over Hammond reciting security protocols.
Forewarned is forearmed, Miss Davis.
So you keep saying.
Here we go. that chunk of rock?
To an independent miner, that's paradise. Aegis 7 is one of the richest finds in CEC history. Some prospecting team set up for life. Now where is she?
There. Confirming visual contact with USG Ishimura.
What a beauty. Biggest planet cracker in her class, you know. And it looks like they already popped the cork.
Why is it so dark? We should be able to see her running lights.
Yeah. I'll get us into hailing range. Someone's got to be waiting up for us.
Just be careful on the approach. I'm not taking any chances with the CEC's pride and joy.
No chances, huh? Is that why you were digging into my personnel files before we left?
You check your file access?
I'm a computer analyst. Comes with the job.
I ran standard CEC background checks, Miss Daniels. If you want to work in the big leagues, you have to play ball.
Sir, we're in hailing range. USG Ishimura, this is the emergency maintenance team of the USG Kelly, responding to your distress call. Come in, Ishimura. Ishimura, do you copy? Come in. This is the USG Kelly.
You ever hear of a full communications blackout on one of these things?
Never. Come on. Someone pick up the damn phone.
The hell is that?
Sounds like their communication array is busted. Maybe a broken encoder. Daniels and I can handle it in 48 hours, max.
Hey, that gives you plenty of time to catch up with Nicole.
Yeah, I hope so.
Jen, Johnson, take us in.
That first shot of the Ishimura is so cool, and with the already partially cracked planet in the background too, just awesome. And listen to Hammond, the security officer's words here. Biggest ship in her class, already popped the cork. His language is sensational, even masturbatory. The developers expect you to be impressed here, but almost immediately, humanity's supremacy here is questioned. This great symbol of our achievement, the Ishimura, it's in disrepair, dark, drifting. As powerful as humanity is in this setting, as great our intellect, there is something out there even stronger, even smarter. Something able to knock out our most powerful ship. Something has cracked the ship that can crack planets. Our main character, Isaac Clarke, is an engineer. He's responding to a distress call. He's here to repair the Ishimura, to lift that symbol of human achievement back up onto its pedestal. Also, I just want to note the video that Isaac is watching at the start. That's his girlfriend, Nicole, a medical officer on board the Ishimura. We'll talk about her more later. For now, just notice that this video message clearly gets cut off before the message reaches its end. There's more to this message than we're being shown. Next, let's watch just a little bit more of that opening scene, so we can see the exact moment that our characters, and by allegorical extension all of humanity, loses control, loses primacy.
Jen, Johnson, take us in.
Gravity tethers engaged. Automated docking. Let's go.
I'm losing control.
Fuck! We're off course!
Daniel!
Guidance system override isn't responsive.
Shit, we're coming in too hot. It's gonna smash us into the hull.
Jen, aim for that emergency stabilizer. There, the blue light. It might slow us down.
Got it. Drop the flash shield. Everyone brace yourself. Everyone okay?
I'm good.
I'll live. Hey, Johnston. Alright?
It's my ankle. Might be broken.
Shit, but better than a broken neck. Or worse. Good call on the stabilizer, Isaac.
For the first 5 minutes, our characters are in control, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, they are very literally not in control anymore. They lose control of their shuttle, crash it into the Ishimura's docking bay. At this moment, our characters lose all control, and they never ever regain it. Dead Space's entire plot can be viewed as a desperate and failed attempt by our human characters to regain control of the situation, regain control of a ship that has fallen to an alien menace. Remember, our main character is an engineer, a repairman. can. When equipment and technology malfunctions, when you lose control of them, it's his job to repair them so you can take control back. And that's what he tries to do for the entire game. He hustles from one end of the ship to the other, putting out fires, repairing ship systems. He repairs the power systems, the ship's engines, the centrifuge, the asteroid defense system, the life support systems, communication systems, practically every mechanical system on the ship, and none of it makes a difference. None of it saves anyone in the end. And it's not just this handful of characters who have lost control. From this moment on, all of humanity's future is in the clutches of an alien intelligence beyond our comprehension, wielding power we cannot imagine. This does not end with the incident on the Ishimura, because it did not begin on the Ishimura. It actually began on Earth a very long time ago, but I'll talk more about that later. Despite their hard landing, all of our characters board the Ishimura safely, only to discover that the ship's systems seem to be down, and the ship itself appears to be abandoned. There are signs of struggle, of violence, of battle, but no living combatants, and no clues as to what happened. Very quickly, the necromorphs appear, Dead Space's iconic monsters, and then that first theme of challenge primacy is complete, because our human characters are weaker and slower than these monsters. We are prey, and the necromorphs are the hunters. Most people, all they can do is run and hide. You are not safe, not anywhere. The necromorphs can reach any part of the ship at any time, any locked room, any closet. They can find you hiding underneath any bed. In the original game, there was a lot of talk about the necromorphs' apparent superiority over humans, even a suggestion that perhaps necromorphs are the next step in our evolution. In the remake, most of that dialogue has been unfortunately cut, but even if it's not explicitly said, the fact remains. On board the drifting dark hulk of the Ishimura, humanity is the lesser species. And think about it, how much of your feelings of security and safety are predicated on the fact that you aren't in danger of being eaten by some wild animal? If you found out tomorrow that there were packs of raptors with lasers strapped to their heads, stalking your neighborhood and teaching each other calculus, would you still feel safe? The second theme of cosmic horror is forbidden knowledge. The Necronomicon is almost a household name. In H.P. Lovecraft's stories, the Necronomicon was this ancient book, written by a mad sorcerer, filled with esoteric knowledge forbidden by most universities. In Dead Space, instead of a Necronomicon, we have unitology and the marker. The backstory of Dead Space is that 200 years ago, a marker was discovered on Earth, an alien obelisk incredibly old, perhaps older than human civilization itself. This marker contained power, information, and the secrets of an alien civilization. It was also dangerous. The red marker on Aegis 7 is responsible for the necromorph outbreak on the Ishimura. It sends out an electromagnetic signal that transforms dead tissue into necromorphs, and which affects the minds of living people. The government discovered that the marker wasn't just dangerous, it was an existential threat. A necromorph outbreak on Earth could mean the end of humanity, so the government suppressed all knowledge pertaining to the marker. They declared that knowledge forbidden, not out of some malevolent intent, not to hoard its secrets and its power for themselves, because the marker is too dangerous even for that, but for the security of the entire species. However, one of the scientists involved, Michael Altman, leaked the story to the public and was killed for it. The government tried to cover it up, but a cult sprung up around the martyred Altman and the supposed promises of the marker. By present day in Dead Space, the cult has become the fastest growing religion in the galaxy. It's called unitology, and their bishops preach that if the secrets of the marker can be unlocked, immortality will be humanity's reward. The unitologists have almost entirely taken control of the Ishimura, with the purpose of retrieving the red marker that was found on Aegis 7, a new marker, the first new marker found by humanity since the original was found on Earth 2 centuries prior. This was always a unique aspect of cosmic horror. The pursuit of knowledge and truth is so often depicted in fiction as a noble or honorable pursuit. Think of any detective you've ever seen in any TV show, movie, book, or video game. What those detectives are always doing, basically, is searching for the truth, and we root for them. We as the audience always think that finding the truth is the right thing to do. But in cosmic horror, the truth is dangerous. In Dead Space, searching for the truth means searching for the marker, which means horrific necromorph outbreak, even if it's a genuine government conspiracy and cover-up. In the world of Dead Space, it's better off left alone. Thematically, this stems from that cosmic insecurity I spoke about earlier. Humanity's search for truth in the cosmos has led to an understanding of our species' irrelevance, our obscurity, and anxiety that our lives are perhaps ultimately tenuous and unimportant. Cosmic Horror asks, wouldn't you have been better off not knowing at all? Isn't ignorance bliss? Our third theme is deception, and that can either mean characters literally lying, or it can mean appearances that are deceiving. For example, the necromorphs themselves. At first, our characters believe them to simply be monsters. It takes a little while for everyone to realize and accept those are the crew, their bodies violently transformed, possessed by an inhuman will, hunting us down and killing us. This is an example of deceptive appearances. Things aren't quite what they seem. Those aren't just monsters. Those are your friends, your family, your co-workers. Hammond even recognizes one of the necromorphs as his shuttle pilot, Chen.
Who's that?
The one that attacked me. I managed to trap him in here. His face. I'm not seeing things, right? That's Chen.
You can't help him, Hammond. He's...
You're right. I should... The hell with it.
Escape pod 47 launched.
I worked with him for years. Johnston, too. At least she was spared becoming a monster.
We're gonna fix this, Hammond. For them.
Yeah. Come on. The ADS cannons.
As horrific as the necromorphs are as faceless monsters, imagine how much more horrific they would be if you saw in them the face of your brother, your sister, your spouse, your best friend. What could you do then? Another example of deceptive appearances is the marker itself. The red marker found on Aegis 7 is not a genuine alien artifact. It's a fake. It was made by humans. The first marker, the black marker, found back on Earth 2 centuries ago, that was the real deal. This red marker is just a bit of reverse-engineered hoaxery. Even this, the source of the necromorph outbreak itself, the source of all the destruction and death in the game, is not what it appears to be. Even it is a fake. What can you trust in this world? Of course, in addition to deceptive appearances, Dead Space also includes some examples of straight-up liars as well. See it in this short clip.
Isaac, I'm looking at the ADS cannons. They're a mess. I'm gonna need your help. I am not losing the Ishimura. Not now.
The Ishimura, Hammond, or the marker?
That artifact they found?
Don't bullshit us. CEC knew all along about the marker, didn't they? Isn't that why you're really here? Corporate wouldn't send the Ishimura for some off-the-books mining. But alien technology, yeah, that fits.
Then how does losing my team fit into this theory?
Hey, knock this shit off. We're into the debris field. We get the ADS back together, or it's over.
Then meet me at the captain's nest. Daniels?
Fine. But I'm going through the ship reports, Hammond. I'm getting some answers.
Here, one of our survivors, Kendra, is accusing another survivor, Hammond, of knowing more than he's telling, of having some other mission, some ulterior motive. Something that really interests me is that the player never actually gets a definitive answer to this question. I've played Dead Space like 10 times and I'm still unsure whether Hammond had secret secondary orders. Of course, Kendra herself turns out to be a big-time liar too, see it in this clip.
Cole, is she here?
Couldn't trust him with the marker.
Kendra, what are you doing?
What my department sent me here to do. Even if the Valor couldn't help me out like I wanted.
Department? Who are you?
I work for EarthGov, cleaning up a very, very old mess. I told you and Hammond that Aegis 7 was off limits. The planet was one big government experiment. The marker, this divine artifact, it was built by human hands.
That's impossible. It's an alien world. The miners dug up the fucking thing.
After it was planted here a few hundred years ago. Even Kind didn't pick up on that. They found the first marker in some crater on Earth. That one. That was real. Alien. Enough to inspire unitology. Our people studied it and reverse engineered this red marker. But they needed somewhere to test it.
Aegis 7.
You've seen the result. The stuff of nightmares. I thought the old reports were just hysteria. Until I saw what I saw. They sealed off the whole system, buried the records nice and clean. Until CEC got greedy. Those idiots tore Aegis 7 apart and woke up with the old research team left behind.
So EarthGov sent you to sweep it all under the rug. Damn it, we have to return the marker. If anyone else stumbles across Aegis 7...
It was disappeared once. We can do it again. I've seen how the marker fucks with your head. It must be contained. For what it's worth, we made a great team. You'll find another way off the Ishimura. I mean, you're one hell of an engineer.
Your experiment's gonna kill us all! Daniels!
Towards the end of the game, Kendra reveals herself to be some kind of interstellar secret agent, sent by the government to recover the marker. She is exactly what she was accusing Hammond of being. Right when you think you finally escaped, she kills your weird lunatic friend in cold blood, steals her shuttle, steals the marker, and off she goes. In some ways, betrayal is scarier than monsters. The idea that people you trust could stab you in the back at any moment, whenever it benefits themselves. And beyond both Hammond and Kendra is Nicole, Isaac's girlfriend. You do find Nicole alive on the Ishimura, but behaving and speaking very strangely. From the moment you first see her, the player will question, is this really Nicole? Is she a hallucination? Has she been changed in some way? Is she lying to us too? Ultimately, Nicole is revealed to be something else, and I'll discuss that more later. Horror is all about challenging your feelings of safety. You feel afraid when you don't feel safe. How could you feel safe if you can't trust the people around you? In Dead Space, you cannot trust any other character, even when there are no necromorphs around. When you're alone with your fellow humans, you're still not safe, because they are lying to you. They have ulterior motives. They are willing to abandon you, or perhaps even worse. The fourth theme is madness, and Dead Space has that in droves. In Lovecraft's stories, madness was usually tied to forbidden knowledge. A character would make some kind of terrible discovery, and then they'd go, I can't handle the truth. The mind, our intellect, our ability to perceive and to understand is humanity's greatest strength. But our minds are also shockingly fragile, prey to a multitude of quirks and illnesses. In Dead Space, the marker is the source of the madness. As mentioned previously, the marker sends out an electromagnetic signal that affects the brain. It causes hysteria, aggression, confusion, and hallucinations. Our protagonist, Isaac, experiences this. Throughout the game, you will hear whisperings and chantings and even singing that seems to be coming from nowhere. You'll see visual glitches on monitors that don't make sense. And most prominent of all, you'll see Nicole alive and well, when even Isaac knows she shouldn't be. But more on that during the next theme's discussion. In cosmic horror, madness is about removing that one final bastion of safety, your thoughts. Remember, horror evokes fear by challenging your sense of safety. In Dead Space, you aren't safe with the monsters. You aren't safe with your comrades, and you aren't even safe within your own mind. You can't rely on your senses. You cannot rely on your eyes or your ears. Anything you see or hear might be wrong, a hallucination conjured up by the marker. You can't even retreat into your thoughts because your thoughts may not be your own. Even your thoughts are manipulated and twisted by the marker. The marker grinds you down into nothing because before the might of the marker and the intelligence which crafted its original, you are nothing. All your strength, all your skill, all your adaptability, it doesn't matter because the marker is already in your head. I'm going to jump ahead a bit and play a clip from the remake's new secret ending because it does a fantastic job of cementing this point.
The Ishimura really was a great ship.
Yeah. We were lucky to see her in her prime.
Are we going home, Isaac? There's so much work to do.
Soon, I promise. Gotta build a little something first.
For me? What is it?
It's a surprise, sweetie. But I think you're gonna like it.
This is the end of the game after Isaac has escaped the Ishimura, destroyed the colony, destroyed the marker, destroyed the hive mind. I mean, Isaac is amazing in this game. His accomplishments are genuinely incredible. He is a one-man army, but it doesn't matter because he's freaking crazy. Look at him in this clip. He's lost it. He's lost his mind. And with it, he's lost everything. In the end, no matter how physically strong he was, his mind could not resist the marker's onslaught. Even someone as strong as Isaac, when stripped of his mind, that greatest of human strengths, he is little more than a bug to be squashed. The fifth and final theme I'm going to discuss is horrific self-discovery. One of H.P. Lovecraft's most famous stories is The Shadow over Innsmouth. It's about a decrepit and forgotten northeastern fishing village that turns out to be populated by a bunch of scary fish people. And the story ends with the greatest horror of all, when our narrator realizes that he is a fish person too. Ah! Oh no! Oh goodness! Lovecraft stories often included this element of horrific personal discovery. The pursuit of forbidden knowledge doesn't just lead to discoveries of horrors out in the world, but of hidden horrors lingering within your own body or mind. You are the monster. You are broken. You are flawed. You are wrong. Deep down inside, there is something wrong with you, and you always knew it, but you can't ignore it anymore. It consumes you. As fascinating as the grander aspects of cosmic horror are, this theme to me has always been the genuinely scariest. Interstellar ancient gods and flubbery Rhode Island fish people are all well and good, but the notion that the real horror is inside of us, inside all of us, that rings far too true to be dismissed as just fiction. Anyway, to see Isaac's horrific self-discovery in Dead Space, let's watch this clip from near the end of the game.
Forget it, Isaac. There's no fixing this.
Let her go, Daniels.
Let who go? Can't you see how delusional you are?
We've got to go. The payload from the planet Crack is about to fall.
I gave you a chance to come around, Isaac. But if you still won't see it, I'll help you. One last time. Wriggling override. This time, watch to the end.
Isaac, it's me. I wish I could talk to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about everything. I just wish I could talk to someone. It's all falling apart here. I can't believe what's happening. Strange. Such a little thing. Just had a talk. That's all this research was in the end. Not much, is it? Just had to make it listen when he begged for convergence. But I had a different prayer. It spoke. And then it listened. Make this stop, I said. Maybe it understood, but... Why can't I see you again, Isaac? I loved you. I always loved you.
Michael for her and Nicole for you. Jacob. No.
No, she can't be. What the hell did you do?
You did this to yourself. Nicole's been dead this whole time. You just couldn't handle it, could you? Because if she's gone, at least now it'll be in safe hands. The marker won't turn anyone else into its puppet. Give me the loader remote.
No. It's over. We're whole again.
For Christ's sake, I'm not going to ask again, Cross.
No! Enough people have died!
Then just do it. I've got nothing left to lose.
Cross!
It's better this way, Isaac. You'll never recover from what the marker's done to you. And when the tectonic load drops, all this will be buried. Just like Earth God wanted.
Nicole was dead the entire time, and Isaac always knew it. He knew before he ever got anywhere close to the Ishimura. He can try to blame the marker for showing him these hallucinations, for tricking him into thinking this woman looked and sounded like Nicole, but the truth is, for that trick to have ever worked in the first place, there had to be something really broken in him to begin with. All the way back in that first cutscene, he talks about Nicole with his crewmates as if she's still alive, when he knew she wasn't. And that was before the marker's signal ever touched him. The marker didn't trick him, he allowed the marker to trick him, because it made him feel better, because then he wouldn't have to deal with her death. Let's watch just one more clip to see how broken Isaac really is, even without any marker around.
Isaac. Sorry, late shift. How are you?
My mother, she's,
Octavia? How's she doing?
She's dead, Nicole. They both are. She killed my dad, then herself. Yeah. The church. They took the bodies before I could,
Oh my God. Oh, Isaac, I'm so sorry. Fucking unitology brainwashing.
Stop it. Just stop talking. You said she was herself again. You said she would be better at home. I trusted you. God. You might as well have killed him yourself.
She was better. You told me to leave for the Ishimura. You pushed me to... You know what? Go to hell, Isaac.
Nicole! Nicole! I didn't... Oh God, no. Not her too.
Isaac. It's me. I wish I could talk to you.
She wanted to talk. I didn't.
I'm sorry.
I can make it right.
I'm sorry.
I can save us both.
About everything.
This is Isaac and Nicole's last conversation, the last time they ever spoke. Isaac, in a grief-stricken rage, blames Nicole for his mother's death, and she hangs up on him. Can you blame him for wanting to believe Nicole was still alive? Can you blame him for not wanting to accept that this was the last interaction he would ever have with someone he loved? For all of how superhuman he can sometimes appear, Isaac is ultimately human, and just like all the rest of us, he is broken by grief, by loss. He has lost his mother, his father, and his girlfriend, and when the marker offers him a pleasanter alternative, he readily seizes it. This is the thing about horror that people sometimes don't get. It's not about the monsters, the murderers, the psychopaths, the Slendermen. It's about that basest and most primal of all our emotions. Fear. What drives it, and the horrors it drives us to commit.